Good day to you all. In this video class, let's study about the ecological factors. In earlier classes, we discussed about the ecology and environment. Ecology is a very interesting branch of the biological science, which deals with the study of interrelationships of a living organisms with their environment. It is all about the study of reciprocal relationship of living organisms with their environment. Environment, on the other hand, it includes both the biotic and abiotic factors. It is nothing but ecology is a branch of the biological science which deals with the study of the biotic and abiotic factors and their the relationship in interrelationship or the intricate relationship. How all the living organisms, the plants, animals, and then microscopic organisms, react with their environment. Environment literally means what? The surroundings of a living organisms. Surrounding of a living organism. Surroundings of a living organism consists of the light, the temperature, the air, the humidity, the soil, the water, different things. The environmental factors play a very significant role in the growth and development of the plants, their survival, their reproduction, overall their existence. Even the small seed germination also, it is highly influenced by the ecological factors. Ecological factors are also termed as the environmental factors. Environmental factors or ecological factors are many and highly diverse. Environmental factors may be a climatic factors, edaphic factors, or a topographic factors, or a biotic factors. Very effective climatic, topographic, edaphic, and biotic factors which influence the living organisms termed as a ecological factors or environmental factors. Or in other words, it can be explained in this way. Any external force or a condition which influence the living organisms can also be termed as a environmental factors. Any external force or a condition which affect the survival, total overall the survival of a living organisms can also be termed as environmental factors. Environmental factors. Environmental factors. So these includes especially the climatic factors. Climatic factors. Climatic factors are many. Climate means what? The weather conditions prevailing in a particular locality, particular place or a site termed as a climate. So climate, it is not always similar. The climate, it is not always the same in different regions of the earth. The climate, it changes the day by day, even the climate changes. Always it is a ever changing phenomenon, ever changing the phenomenon. The climate cheaply, it is the intermixed with the light, the temperature, then the air or the wind, air or wind, light, the temperature, the air or wind, the atmospheric pressure or the air pressure, the humidity of the air, humidity of air, etc. So climatic factors chiefly related to the atmospheric, the layer of the earth. The entire planet earth have got three different layers: the atmosphere, the lithosphere, the hydrosphere. The atmospheric, the layer, the atmosphere, it consists of the light, the temperature, the air pressure, the humidity. So these are termed as climatic factors. These different climatic factors play a very vital role in supporting not only the growth and development of a living organism, say for example a plant or a group of plant or a population or a community or an entire vegetation of a plant, their distribution, even the survival, the growth and development, the distribution, their reproduction, their behavior, etc. Okay, then climatic factors are many. Second one, the topographic factors. Topography, also termed as physiography, physical geographical conditions of the earth, termed as the topographic physical geographic conditions of earth, that is the surface of the earth, the topography. Altitude and latitude, are the examples for the topographic factors. Topography also consists of the steepness of an area, then the direction of the mountain ranges, etc. So all these comes under the topographic factors. Then the edaphic factors. Edaphic factor nothing but it is all related to the soil, the characteristics of a soil, the physical and chemical properties or characters of the soil. The soil, especially the topsoil of the earth, always it is a stable soil, it is a fertile soil, it support for the growth and development of the plants. So soil, its characters, the soil is not always the same in different regions of the earth. Its characters are also different in different parts of the earth. The soil always support for the growth and development of the plant. So edaphic factor always related to the characters of a soil, characters of the soil. Then lastly, the biotic factors. Biotic factors. Biotic factors nothing but all the living organisms, plants, animals, and then microscopic organisms. Their interactions, interactive, the processes termed as a biotic factors. So all these are considered as a environmental factors. These different environmental factors always influence the living organisms, maybe the plants, animals, or even microbes. The climatic factors chiefly include the light. Let's take a look about this particular very important climatic factor, that is the light. The light. Okay, what is light? How it is available to the plants? So there are a number of different the natural source of a light. Sunlight is different, moonlight is different, even the starlight is different, and the light appears during the lightning is also different. These are all the natural sources of the energy. Some luminescent animals, some luminescent insects also, they produce a radiation or the light. Out of all these different the starlight, moonlight, and the sunlight, and other luminescent, the light comes out from the body of the organisms, especially insects. The sunlight is very important. Sunlight is very important means what? Every living organisms get their energy directly or indirectly from the sun. Sun is one and then only the natural source of the energy, a great a source of natural energy. Stars are also the natural source. Sun is also one of the nearest and the biggest star. Moon is also the source of the energy, but actually it reflects the sunlight during the night. So the earth's surface, the plants and then animals, actually they get the light from, light means what? Like this, sunlight, moonlight, and the starlight, and the light coming from that is during the rain, the thundering. Sun suppose that a sun surface of the earth, the plants, okay, the plants, every living the animals, plants, and other microscopic organisms get their energy from the sun, directly or indirectly. So this the sunlight travels in the form of the radiations, radiation nothing but a light, nothing but the electromagnetic waves, the waves, electromagnetic waves. The electromagnetic waves that they comes from the sun reach the surface of the earth. So these electromagnetic the light waves, and as they travel the different layers of the atmosphere of earth, actually These electromagnetic waves or the radiation, nothing but the sunlight, it includes different the light rays, especially the ultraviolet light rays. Ultraviolet light rays are different, cosmic rays are different, cosmic light rays are different, electromagnetic the waves of a sun, it includes ultraviolet light rays, cosmic rays, x-rays, gamma rays and beta rays, then visible light rays, then infrared light rays, then other the light rays having a shorter wavelength. So these UV light rays, cosmic light rays, ultraviolet light rays, then X-rays, they exhibit a very short wavelength and are very harmful. So the planet Earth, actually, it is planet Earth means what? In the atmospheric, the layer of the Earth, there is a stratosphere. Stratosphere is the one of the sub-layer of a atmosphere. In this, the stratospheric region of the atmosphere, there is a ozone layer. This ozone layer, it protects the Earth from the ultraviolet light rays and other the harmful light rays that they come from the sun and reach the surface of the Earth. So the light, the visible light, it is very important. Visible light, when we pass this particular visible light rays, when we pass a beam of visible light rays into the prism, take for example, suppose that this is the instrument, this is a small the instrument, a prism. When we pass into this prism a beam of visible light rays into the prism, it reflect out 7 different colored light rays in the form of the Vibgayar. It can be termed as a spectrum. So violet colored light rays, indigo colored light rays, blue colored light rays, green colored light rays, yellow colored light rays, orange colored light rays and red colored light rays. This is nothing but the spectrum. This experiment, it gives us an idea that ordinary visible light rays of a sun, it consists of the 7 different colored light rays. Out of the 7 different colored light rays, our plants actually they do not absorb all the 7 different colored light rays. They do not undergo the photosynthesis under all the different colored light rays. This means that, so the red colored light rays are very important. In presence of a red colored light rays, they shows the maximum rate of the photosynthesis. Experimental results, they shows us that the red colored light rays, they speed up the process of the photosynthesis. It is why we are discussing about the Vibgayar. Here we are studying about the light. Light is one of the ecological factor or the environmental factor. Light available to all the plants in the form of the radiation. So the sunlight, that is the visible light rays, it consists of all these 7 different colored light rays. Indigo colored and violet colored light rays also present in the sunlight, which also responsible for the photosynthesis. All green plants, they reflect the green colored light rays which are present in the sunlight. So therefore they appear always green in color. Green in color. Then light intensity. Light intensity, it is different in a different geographical area of the earth. Geographical area of the earth. Light intensity always influence the process of the photosynthesis. One of the vital function of a plants. Intensity of the light or a light rays. Okay. Anyhow, we know that plants require a sunlight. In presence of a sunlight, they undergo photosynthesis. Without sunlight, they never undergo photosynthesis. Okay. So the light which is available to the plants during a daytime, some amount of it is reflected back to the atmospheric air. Some amount of the sunlight which falls upon the surface of the plant, it is transferred, and which is some amount of which is absorbed. So the sunlight, this sunlight, it is one of the environmental factor. This environmental factor influence every aspect of the life of the plants. It may be the growth and development, the movement of the plant, and the seed germination, or any other the physiological similar aspect. Let's discuss only some of the means how the light influence. Okay. So here, importance of light to the plants. Importance of the light to the plants. Importance of the light to the plants. Light, it is very much required for the act of the photosynthesis. Okay. Photosynthesis. You know better about the photosynthesis. It is one of the very vital function of the plant. Photosynthesis can also be termed as, it is the synthesis of the carbohydrates, the food molecules, in presence of the light, termed as a photosynthesis. It is a building up of simple saccharides in presence of the sunlight with the help of inorganic raw materials such as carbon dioxide and water. Can also be termed as the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis can also be termed in another way. It is the conversion of the solar radiant energy into a chemical energy, termed as the photosynthesis. Plants, they prepare their own food material in presence of the sunlight with the help of the pigments, different pigments as they contain, with the help of the raw materials, that is the carbon dioxide, gaseous carbon dioxide and liquid water, and as they synthesize the simple saccharides, the carbohydrates, they also release the oxygen as a byproduct. It is termed as a photosynthesis. For the photosynthesis, light, it is very much essentially required. I quoted earlier that without light, plants cannot or never photosynthesize. It is a building up of the simple saccharides in presence of the light is termed as a photosynthesis. It is one of the very important biological reaction. It is one of the photochemical reaction. It is one of the vital functioning of the plants. Out of the 7 different colored light rays which are present in the ordinary visible light ray which comes from the sun and reach the surface of the plant or any other surface of the earth, it includes 7 different colored light rays. Out of the 7 different colored light rays, red colored light rays, very important, the speed of the act of the photosynthesis. Then it is very important. So for the act of the photosynthesis, light is very much essentially required. So photosynthesis occur continuously in the presence of intermittent light than that of the continuous light. So intermittent the light, it is responsible for the continuous the act of photosynthesis than that of the continuous light. Then intensity of the light is also very important. Light intensity of the light. Intensity of the light, it is different in different locality, different geographical area. Even the intensity of the light becomes different during the different climatic the conditions. In a winter season or in a sunny days or in a rainy days, the intensity of the sunlight becomes vary. It differs. It becomes different. Okay, that is the sunlight which travels, which penetrate deep inside the surface of the water and remain available to the deepest the plants which are present in the aquatic medium. Low intensity light rays remain available to such a bottom plants. Okay, then that surface plants usually get the more sunlight or more intensive sunlight than that of the submerged plants. So in water medium, the intensity of the light it is different, and in the atmosphere or in the on the terrestrial the surface of the on the surface of the earth, again it is different. So the gaseous molecules which are present in the atmospheric air, the water vapor, different dust particles, they also influence a lot in determining the intensity of the sunlight. Intensity of the sunlight, it is usually much more at a higher altitude than that of the lower altitude. Intensity of the sunlight, some plants they require more intensive sunlight, and there are some plants they require or they love to grow under the shady places, or the shade means what, low intensive sunlight. Okay, intensity of the light is also one of the very important the factor which influence the plants. Okay, then other than the photosynthesis, for the respiration of a plants, light also very important. It very essentially required. That means what? Respiration is also one of the very important vital function of a plants. Respiration do occur within the plant cell. They respire continuously. During the respiration, they break up. They means what? During a respiration, they oxidize their prepared food material into a carbon dioxide and water, and also they release the energy. Whatever the energy that is present in the chemical, the food molecules released during the respiration. So out of the energy which is released during the oxidation of a food material, that is the respiration, utilized for the vital functions, other vital functions of the plant body, such as the growth and development, absorption of the water from the soil, and other vital functions, other growth and development, or it may be the any other the plant movement, like that. This light also related to that of the respiration of a plants, respiration of the plants. Some botanists, they have conducted the experiment whether the respiration occur in plants under a very high intensive sunlight. How, in what way? Very the direct sunlight or a high intensive light rays, how they influence the, how they affect the respiration of the plants. Especially some plants, they shows high rate of the respiration under the very intensive sunlight, very the direct sunlight or the intensive sunlight. Sometimes very rapid, continuous, very intensive, highly intensive sunlight, it is fatal, or it is always the fatal to the functioning of other biological, it is fatal to the other biological functions of a plants. Okay, so it always influence the respiration. Other than the photosynthesis and respiration, take for example stomatal movement. Light, it is always, light, it is always influence, directly it influence the mechanism of the movement of the stomata. Movement of stomata, nothing but opening and closing of the stomata. The surface of the we know that stomata are very minute openings which are present in the aerial green, the surface of the plant body, which undergo the photosynthesis. Not always the surface of the leaves contain a stomata. Stomatas are very minute openings, helps for the gaseous exchange and as well as the transpiration. These stomata, they open during the daytime and they close at night. This means what? During a daytime, when the light is available to the stomata, they open. They open. When it becomes a darkness, when it turns into the dark or the night, stomata, they do not operate. They remain, they close. They stop the exchange of the gases and they stop the transpiration of the water. This means that for the movement of the stomata, for closing and opening of the stomata, light is very much essentially required. Many scientists, the biologists or the botanists, they have conducted the how does, in what way exactly the stomata open during a daytime and when they close. Okay, the guard cells of the stomata, as they contain the pigments, these pigments which are present in the guard cells of the stomata, they undergo photosynthesis and they prepare the sugar during a daytime, and the concentration of the cell sap of a guard cell increases during a daytime. Automatically, when the concentration of the cell sap of a guard cell increases during a photosynthesis, during a daytime, they means what? Water comes into the guard cell from the neighboring, the subsidiary cells of the stomata. So as a result of which the turgidity increases. As a result of the, when the turgidity of the guard cell increases, they open and they make a pore. Means what? This in this way, the stomata, they open during a daytime. Light, anyhow, what it is required now? Light influence the light. It is such a important the factor, environmental factor, which influence the movement of the stomata. Okay. Other than this particular the photosynthesis, the respiration and the stomata, and as well as the growth of the plants and the movement of the plant, the movement of the plants. Growth and development and growth and development. Let's discuss growth and the plant movements. Plant movement separately. Plant movements. Okay. Growth. Growth and development of the plant is also very important. The growth and development of the plant is always influenced by the light. The plants which are exposed to the sunlight, they shows the normal growth and development. The plants which occur in shady places, usually they shows they are light green in color. They show somewhat extended stem, a long stem, and they also shows the presence of small epidermal hairs like that. Okay, such a plants are actually termed as a shade loving plants. So the light which available to the plants, based on the availability of the light to the plants are again classified into a long day plants, short day plants, and day neutral plants. Long day plants require more than 12 hours of the light per day. Short day plants require less than 12 hours of the light per day. Day neutral plants require neutral means what? Not more than 12 hours, not less than 12 hours. A neutral photoperiod. This is also referred to as a photoperiodism. The requirement of the light, requirement of the photoperiod, requirement of the light period to the plants termed as a photoperiodism. There are long day plants, short day plants, and day neutral plants. Okay. In order to flower, in order to bloom, means what? In order to develop the flowers, they require different photoperiod. Some plants require long photoperiod to flower. Some plants require short photoperiod to flower. Okay. The process of the flowering greatly influenced by the availability of the light. So in this fashion, the flowering it is highly influenced by the availability of the light. Then the plant movements means what? Plants always are static. They never move at all. They do not show any locomotion. Means what? They never exhibit locomotory organs. They are static. They shows a moment of moment means what? These plant movements nothing but there are nastic movements and tropic movements. In order to catch a maximum sunlight, the plants in a group of plants, certain plants they bend in order to catch a maximum sunlight. This also can be termed as phototropism, phototropic movement. Phototropic movement. It is a tropic movement. In order to get a maximum sunlight, they bend towards the source of the light or bend towards the direction of the source of the light. Shoot, it is always termed as a positively phototropic. The root of a plant always said to be as an negatively phototropic and positively geotropic. Roots always grows towards the soil. They never require the light. The shoot, on the other hand, they require always the light. They grows towards the availability of the or the source of the light. So shoot positively phototropic and negatively geotropic. The root positively geotropic and negatively phototropic, like that. These are termed as moments, plant moments. Certain plants, tropic movement, nastic movements are different and are many. I actually discussed with you about one of the tropic movement. nastic movements are different, tropic movements are different. Anyhow, in presence of a light, they express the responses. Okay, stimulus to response is one of the character of all the living organisms. Like other organisms, the plants, the other animals and then organisms, the plants, they make a response to the stimulus. Light always act as a stimulus. This stimulates the life processes. So in presence of the light, the light, the plants, they manufacture not only the food molecules but also the chloroplast plastids, the different pigments. These different pigments and the plastids are usually concentrated very much on the upper surface of the leaf than that of the lower surface of the leaf. This shows that the light, it is always influence the pigments and the chloroplast, the plastids, and their the functioning within the plant body. So this is about how, in what way the light actually influence the uh, physiology of the plant. Not but least, that is, lastly, I would like to discuss with you all about the germination of the seeds of all the angiosperms. Angiospermic plants, as they produce angiosperms and as well as the gymnosperms, they produce the seeds that as they contain the seeds of the plant, as they contain the embryo. It is this embryo which is present within the seed. It becomes active during the germination. When it gets the moisture content from the soil or any other the substratum or any other medium, when the embryo which is present inside the seed becomes active, it begins the germination. Means what? The growth and development. The cells of the embryo, they divide and redivide. They undergo mitotic division, and soon from this embryo, the radicle will be formed. Later on, it is followed by the that is the shoot development. Small, it is this small seed, it undergo a perfect the germination in presence of the light. Light always influence the germination of the seed. Without light, the seed they shows somewhat the germination, which is somewhat the very slow germination, or somewhat. Anyhow, remember, seed germination, for the seed germination, light is required. Okay, this is the importance of the light to the plants. Remember, light is one of the environmental factor. You have to focus on this particular environmental factor. I shall stop here and I shall continue in the next video class for other environmental factor. Thank you everybody.